Hey guys, good morning and welcome to a fantastic new week. So before I, continue any further, please join our Telegram channel. We are doing amazingly well on our Telegram channel, right? If you combine the knowledge you receive from this YouTube channel and add to what we do on our Telegram channel, you will win a lot. We win a whole lot on our Telegram channel. The link to the Telegram channel is pinned in the comment section. So make sure you join. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and make sure you like the video. So you guys are probably wondering why I didn't do a video on Sunday. It's, I think, probably the only day in 4 months that I didn't do a single video. So I had an emergency situation I needed to attend to, and that was why I couldn't do a video. But I mean, last week was pretty fantastic for us. We won 3.5 odds 3 times during the week, in addition to normal 2 odds and 1.5 odds that we won as well. It was only, I think, Friday and Saturday that we weren't able to win, the entire week. So, but generally speaking, it was a fantastic week for us. And let's see how we can repeat that same feat today by winning these normal 2 odds and 1.5 rollover. So the 1.5 rollover will continue for 3 days in addition to the 2 odds. And that was exactly how we did last week, and it was really successful. So let's see how we can do that again today. And without wasting time, let's get into the matches. The very first game we have is from the Africa Cup of Nations. It's a game involving Equatorial Guinea and the host, Ivory Coast. Now, you take a look at Ivory Coast, their overall performances. You realize that Ivory Coast has lost just twice and won 3 times. Right? Now, you look at Equatorial Guinea. Equatorial Guinea has been very fantastic. They have won 3 times and drawn twice. Even though Equatorial Guinea has slightly better form than Ivory Coast, why we want to back Ivory Coast in this fixture is that Ivory Coast is currently hosting these games. Ivory Coast is hosting this competition and they haven't qualified to the next round of the competition yet. So as you guys can see here, it's still very competitive for them. Equatorial Guinea has 4 points, Nigeria has 4 points, Ivory Coast has 3 points, and the host nation needs to qualify to the next round. Even CAF would want that to happen. If the host nation fails to qualify, then the Nations Cup isn't going to be interesting. So I expect Ivory Coast to come out gun blazing and do everything possible to pick maximum points. They'll have the home support, the referee support, they'll have every sort of support to pick maximum points from this game. Because there's every likelihood that Nigeria is going to beat Guinea-Bissau. And if Nigeria beats Guinea-Bissau, what that simply means is Ivory Coast will also need to beat Equatorial Guinea to stand a chance of qualifying second, which wouldn't be bad. So it's very difficult for them, and they need maximum points from this game. So it's for this reason that we are convinced beyond reasonable doubt that this is a fixture that Ivory Coast will win or draw in 90 minutes. As you can see, their last head-to-head was in 2022, where Ivory Coast beat them by 1-0. So the odds for Ivory Coast to essentially draw no bet, which is a draw no bet that we are going for, which means we expect, we are confident that they will win this fixture, because they'll have every sort of support, the home support, every sort of support to win this fixture. So the odd for a draw no bet for Ivory Coast is priced at 1.10. The next fixture we have for you guys is from the Africa Cup of Nations. Again, it's a game involving Cape Verde and Egypt, another very interesting fixture. So now we look at Egypt, their last 5 matches. And you see that this is a team that has been very consistent, right? And you look at Cape Verde as well, their last 5 matches and they have only lost 1. Egypt is a solid team on the continent whenever it comes to this continental tournament. I think they've won it a record number of times, and they've just been really unfortunate. A game involving Mozambique, they should have won, but then they couldn't pick maximum points, and they drew that match. So as you can see here, Egypt has 2 points right? Cape Verde has 6 points. And Egypt knows that if they beat Cape Verde, they will have maximum points to qualify to the next round of the competition. Egypt wouldn't want to exit out of the competition at this stage of the tournament. It's just going to be very, very defeating. The players were very angry when they drew Mozambique and also when they drew Ghana. So this is going to be a very, very interesting fixture. A very, very interesting fixture. I expect Egypt to use every available resource. I expect their players to play fantastically well. And they're not a bad team. They've just been really, really unfortunate with those draws that they have recorded. So this is definitely a game we can expect Egypt. We can expect Egypt to come out on top. Right? It's going to be a very important game for Egypt. They need to pick maximum points from this game. While they might not necessarily win, I don't expect them to lose. They've been very, very fantastic, as you've seen here. Literally, their last loss was a friendly game in 2022 to South Korea. That was the last time Egypt lost a game, a competitive game of football. So the odds for Egypt to win or draw this fixture in 90 minutes, okay, is priced at 1.30. The next fixture we have is from the England Championship. It's a game involving Leicester and Ipswich. Now, you look at Leicester at home. Leicester has been literally flawless. 5 out of 5 wins. Now, we check Ipswich away from home. Ipswich too has been great. They've won 3 times, drawn once, and lost once. And you check their recent head-to-head. And last time out, Leicester did draw Ipswich. It's not included here, but that was just a couple of weeks ago. The first leg, Leicester went to Ipswich home and drew them 1-1. And this is the return fixture. So it's going to be a very, very interesting game. Leicester lost their last away game, and that was because Leicester received a red card. They were controlling the game very well. They had actually scored, I think, 1 or 2 goals, and were on their way to winning that fixture. And then one of the players collected a red card, and that completely destabilized the team, and they ended up losing their last game. So Leicester will look at this game as an opportunity to bounce back and get back to winning ways, because they need to keep picking maximum points to stand a chance of making it, of qualifying or being promoted to the Premier League. And as you can see, it's pretty tight at the top. It's getting very, very tight. You have Southampton breathing down on their neck. You have Ipswich too breathing down on their neck. But Leicester has the quality. Again, as I said, Leicester probably wouldn't have lost a single game in their last 7 to 8 matches. It was just unfortunate that they collected a red card last time out and then ended up losing that game. But before the red card, Leicester was doing very well, controlling the game, and then they lost unexpectedly after the red card. So expect Leicester City to maintain their good run of form at home. As you can see, at home they've been formidable. They haven't lost at all. So the odds for Leicester to win or draw this fixture in 90 minutes is priced at 1.24. The final fixture for this round of games is from the England Premier League. It's a game involving Brighton and Wolves. Now you take a look at Brighton. Brighton has won 3 times at home and drawn just twice. Now Wolves away from home has been very, very shocking. 3 losses, 1 win, and just 1 draw. Now you check their head-to-head, and their head-to-head shows that Brighton has dominated this fixture, losing just once to Wolves. They've literally lost just once to Wolves. But every other fixture, every other game or head-to-head match, they have either won or drawn. It's also important we check their standings to fully understand what this game would mean for Brighton and Wolves. When you check their standings, one thing you will see 100% is that Brighton is very, very competitive, and they need to keep picking maximum points to, stand a chance of qualifying for the European places. So Brighton is position 8, and they know they need to be in the top 6. I think that was where they were last season. and they wouldn't want to take chances. And you have Wolves at position 11. So given Brighton's very strong home form, we can 100% expect Brighton to win or draw this fixture in 90 minutes. So we are giving Brighton a draw no bet because Brighton has been very, very solid at home. They've beaten a lot of teams at home. And you look at the teams that they have drawn, they've mostly drawn relegation-threatened teams. And understandably so, they struggle to play relegation-threatened teams. But teams on their level, or teams that they are ahead of, or even teams that are better than them like Tottenham, they did beat them. Right? So it's for this reason that we are giving Brighton a draw no bet at odds of 1.29. And of course, you have the booking code here, the Sportybet booking code. You have the 1xBet booking code as well. And I would encourage you guys to play these matches separately, please. So the next round of games is for the 1.5 rollover. And the first game we have here is Qatar versus China. A very, very interesting fixture. Now, it might interest you to know that Qatar has already qualified for the next round of the competition. They are the host nation, by the way. So if you didn't know, Qatar is hosting this Asian Cup and they have already qualified. While China will need a positive result from this game and also for the game involving the two other teams to go their way for China to stand a chance of qualifying. Now, the thing about China is that China has had a really, really shocking attack, right? They haven't really been effective in the final third. Right? They've really, really struggled for impact in the final third. Right? They will do very well from the build-up, from the defense, midfield, and then in the final third, they just mess things up. So as you can see, China has 2 points. And this Tajikistan team is very, very strong. They are a very strong team. And they'll be playing Lebanon. And it's a game we expect Tajikistan to win. So even though Qatar is likely to reshuffle its pack, but expect Qatar to still put up a very strong performance. Right? They are the host nation, and it wouldn't bode well for the host nation to lose their last game of the group. They wouldn't want that. Right? It's not going to send a positive signal, and they wouldn't want that. They want to maintain a very clean record by winning 3 out of 3 group stage games. And you look at Qatar, the overall form, and we realize that Qatar has been very, very impressive. As you guys can see, they've only lost once, and it was to Jordan in a friendly competition. And when they have also played at home, which is what is happening, they've just lost twice, which was to Iran. Iran is a very strong team, and Jordan is also quite strong. And their head-to-head shows that this is a fixture that Qatar has dominated. Qatar has only lost once to this Chinese team. So it's a very simple prediction. We expect, in view of home support, and in view of the fact that China has been really awful when attacking, right? They have a big problem in the final third. So we expect Qatar to win or draw this fixture in 90 minutes. And of course, the odds for Qatar to win or draw this fixture in 90 minutes is priced at 1.8. The final fixture we have is from the Africa Cup of Nations. It's a game involving Mozambique and Ghana. Right? Ghana is one of my second homes. Right? It's an amazing country. I really enjoyed the number of years that I spent there. Yeah. I loved living there. Now, we look at Ghana. We need to look at Ghana's overall form. Ghana has played 5 matches, right? As you guys can see, they've lost 3 times. They lost to Comoros, they lost to the US, they lost to Mexico. Now, what's interesting about this Ghana team is that they started the competition on a weak footing. But as you guys saw, they nearly beat Egypt. It was so close to beating Egypt. And they did put up a very good performance. Right? I don't know why they started the competition on a very slow path, but they picked up momentum from their last game. And this fixture is going to be a very, very important fixture. A very, very important game for Ghana. It's a game that they need to pick maximum positive result to stand a chance of qualifying second. So I'm about to show you guys the table to see what this game will really mean for Ghana. So as you can see, Ghana is position 1, and if they beat Mozambique, they will then move to position 2 with hopes that maybe Egypt and Cape Verde play out a draw, which is a likely situation and scenario. So Ghana will give it everything. I can assure you guys, they will give this fixture everything. And Mozambique hasn't really been that impressive. They were just very fortunate to draw Egypt 1-1 in their first game. And against this Ghana team that will give it everything, you can expect Ghana to come out on top. So it's for this reason that we are double chancing Ghana to win or draw this fixture in 90 minutes at odds of 1.70. And of course, you have the booking code for the 1.5 odds. And I want to wish you guys nothing but the very best, and please do split the tickets. That's my encouragement and advice. This is still the winter break, and anything is possible. And as always, I wish you guys nothing but the very best, and see you guys tomorrow.